I serve as a police chaplain for the Loveland Police Department. It means that I'm on call several periods of the month for things like death notifications, unfortunately suicides or attempted suicides, for families or individuals in difficult times. We get called out for that. But it also means that the police department has requested that we fill a certain number of shifts on the street with the officers. So this last week, finished up work here at the office and changed out to they give us a uniform and a vest and a badge. We go out and work the streets. So I headed out just for a couple of hours in the evening to work together, and we're about done for the evening. In fact, we're headed back to the station. The officer I'm working with, there's a call out over the radio. There's a physical disturbance. There's a physical altercation, a fight at the Safeway. And he says to me, he said, we got to go. So we head that direction. We arrive. There are several other officers that are already there, and they've taken a man out of the store who was attacking others. It's a cold night. I've got a coat on. This man is in handcuffs, and he's being put in the backseat of the police car. He's yelling obscenities at everybody and anybody. It's not super funny at this point, but the guy in the green truck, he says, the guy in the green truck, I'll take you on. And he's looking around the parking lot. Who else wants to? He's out of his mind. They've been picking a fight with people in the store, and he's in the back of the police car, and he's just berating everybody. The officer that put him in there and puts his hand on the man's shoulder, kind of looks into his face a little bit and says, I really wish you could settle down and we could talk about this. The man, the perpetrator, the man in the back seat, said something that gripped my heart. I'll never forget. I can hear his voice today as I could just a few days ago. He catches himself a bit, pauses at these nice words spoken to him, just the very calm words. He catches himself for a minute, and he looks up into the face of the officer, and he says, I just want to go to my spot and go to sleep. I just want to go to my spot. Here's a full-grown man, a child of God, a creation. He doesn't have a home. He has a spot, probably under a bridge or in some thickets, in a tent somewhere, in an out-of-way place behind some building. It's not his. It's not a home. It's a spot. I want to go to my spot. It was broken. A man that God had dreams for, no doubt. I don't know if it was this man's fault. Maybe he lost his mind to drugs and to alcohol. Maybe it was mostly his fault. Or maybe the generations before him were so consumed and addicted and broken that they handed him life that he couldn't handle. But just down the road from us, in this very warm sanctuary, was a man who said, on a cold, dark night, I just want to go to my spot. We went in and interviewed the people that he attacked. They were all very gracious. They had held him down until the police had gotten there. And they wanted to buy him a grocery cart full of food. They said, we don't want him to know who we are. Obviously, it didn't bode well for us in this. But can we buy him a grocery cart full? That's not God's dream for that man. I wanted to take him by the shoulders, look into his eyes and say, Sir, I want you to know God has dreams for you. Dreams much bigger than a spot in a dark, out-of-the-way place in this city. He dreams of a mansion, a place you can call home. He has dreams for you. I wanted to take him and look into his eyes and say, in fact, Jeremiah, the singing prophet, sung of this when he said in verse 11, chapter 29, verse 11, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future. That's God's dream for that man, this man, and for you. And his prophets, the words that the prophets have, that's what they're meant to do. And our reluctance or our distraction or our disregard of their words is only a punishment to ourselves, is only destructive. Jehoshaphat stands up and shouts, not to Jerusalem and Judea, but to Campion and this campus, and says, believe the Lord and you will be established. Believe his prophets and you will prosper.